yesterday, and he took to IG to say, insert your best fumble the bag joke here. And he got a lot of responses. Now, Clinton, do you think that this will get people to take it a little easy on him?
No, not only did he fumble the bag, he found himself on a team that's not as good. That's mainly what this is about. You made choices that were obvious because the numbers were all reported. We hope you're happy, but let's not act like a couple of sports cars are the difference between $80 million and $5. That's just not real.
Yeah, he thought coming out there and stunting and showing his cars was going to take the pressure off him or whatever the case may be. No, you turned down $84 million. That will forever be talked about, not unless he signed another large contract around the same amount or even larger. So, no, the heat is always going to be there.
I like that. It said, honestly, I hope somebody makes fun of me for making $5 million a year. Thanks, CJ. Miss the strike zone. The newest members of the Chicago Bulls, threw out the first pitch at the White Sox game last night. Perk, why aren't NBA players better at throwing out first pitches?
Well, as a guy that played pitcher, in middle school, listen, it's hard when you get to a major league mound. You don't really know the distance, right? And so when they get there, they like, oh, I got to throw that far. So, you got to handicap them. That's just like a baseball player trying to shoot a free throw. They don't know how hard it is until they actually get on the basketball court.
As the baseball guy here, listen, it's 60 feet, 6 inches, Perk. You can log that one in your brain. It's never changing. But the fact is that it's hard, okay? It's not easy to throw a baseball, which should tell you something about how difficult that sport is overall. It's not free like a free throw.
It's not as hard as basketball, but make ease. Here's Russ throwing down an effortless windmill at an open run. Clinton, do you think that the New York Fashion Week might have re-energized them? Whoa.
Let me ask you this, RJ. Can you throw down a better windmill than that right now?
No, I'm 41 years old, I think.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure we're clear.
I mean, but you work out every day. You always showing videos of your yoga and everything. I would think you could still windmill. But look, this is Russ. This is going to be Russ till he's 40. Mm-hmm. He's the most athletic point guard to ever play the game. And to Russ, that wasn't a windmill. That was a little baby ceiling fan, even though it was full extension. But that's not a great windmill to Russ.
Quality cinematography on the IG work, too.
Yes.
Good job out of you.
Russ has some amazing dunks, and it's time to run it back to Russ's most athletic dunks ever. First up, it's an honorable mention from 2010 because he got fouled, but look at the elevation.
This is going to be a problem.
Ooh.
This is going to be a problem. He had to get fouled by 2 dudes in order to make that dunk stop happening.
All right, number 5, 2011. Russ all alone and finishes with a windmill.
That's 10 out of 10 right there. You're the windmill expert, RJ.
Yeah, look, I love a lone windmill. You know why I liked windmills? Because if you did windmills, you knew you were going to be on the top 10. And number 4 in 2015, again on the break, and this time he throws it down reverse.
I remember that game, man. I think I had 12 and 10 that game. I remember that game like
reverse dunks are lost art, y'all. I need more reverse dunks in the leg.
Yeah, and number 3, 2017, he drives and hangs and throws it down over Thon Maker. Whose baby is that? Somebody get that baby out the street.
He got that little extra hang, too, that you're allowed. That gives you a little more contact on the back end where he said, "Feel me, player."
Number 2, 2012, KD Russ, alley-oop versus the Kings. We got a Kings highlight, kind of.
And who said that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook couldn't play together?
Look at
everyone.
All is. And he brought that thing through with authority.
And number 1, 2015, catches the lob. And now wait for the replay. Wait. This man hits his head on the backboard.
Yo, I forgot about that.
There's very few of us that have ever done that.
I completely forgot about that.
You're not one of them.
That's not true. That's not true. You grew up, you had YouTube, you just Google it. Perk, you got nothing to say? All right, okay, Perk doesn't have anything to say. Let's talk more about Russell Westbrook. The 32-year-old Laker point guard is entering his 4th season and is playing on his 4th team in 4 years. After his low start last year with the Wizards, Russ ended up averaging a career high in both rebounds and assists. Now look, take a look. Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double in 4 of the last 5 seasons. We don't know what offense Frank Vogel is going to roll out, but here this is, Perk. Listen to me. I'll start with you. Is he going to be able to average a triple-double this year?
Absolutely not. And I don't care. I don't think he cares if he does average a triple-double or not. Because, look, you just have too much star power. You know LeBron is going to go out there and give you his 20-plus 7 and 7. Anthony Davis is going to go get 10 to 12 rebounds. You got Dwight Howard, who's boarding. We hear Carmelo yelling when he goes up and get a rebound. So I don't think Russ even cares, but I do think he's going to average a double-double. I think he's going to average about 18 points and 10 assists. I think he's going to do that. But I do have a question to Clint.
Yes.
So before he gets on the Russell Westbrook point, I just wanted to know, why does he has an unsharpened pencil
to make sure you're paying attention. To make sure you're paying attention. Listen, this is a whole discussion we had in the back.
I was
using this as my beta testing to see if I was going to take this on another show, Unsharpened. So I'm glad you brought that up. But let me make a very sharp point to you. He will average a triple-double, but it's just not going to be as robust as you're used to seeing. If you looked at that scoring rate, it's been going down, but he's still maintained that triple-double sort of average. I think he can still do that for the Lakers, but we're looking at 11s and 11s across the board. Yeah. We're not looking at like 25 and 10 and 12. That's just not what it's going to be in this offense. And furthermore, if he's scoring 25 points a game,
hit me with a furthermore?
I absolutely did, RJ. This is why I'm wearing a pencil and glasses at the same time. So listen, if he's averaging 25 points a game, I don't think the Lakers are that good at that point. That's not what you want contribution-wise from him in terms of usage rate, in terms of the amount of shots he's going to have to put up to get there. Do I think he can average a triple-double? Yes, but it's going to be a streamlined joint, not necessarily the big, robust one that we're used to seeing.
And this is no disrespect to Russ, one of the great players, not only of this generation, but of every generation ever. He is not going to even come remotely close, because you know LeBron James and his 25, 7 and 7. Anthony Davis is talking about, I want to win Defensive Player of the Year. You know what that means you got to do? You got to rebound.
Right.
You got Rondo out there that's going to be dishing. Bron's trying to dish. So it's just the sheer opportunity. But if Russ decides that I want to average 18, 7 and 7, that is going to be the best version. If this Lakers team is completely healthy, I think that's the best version of Russ.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, 18 is a lot for me. I think we're looking closer to a 10 to 15 range in terms of what you're trying
Russ
to
ain't
do.
averaging 10.
What?
Yeah.
That's just me. I mean, the assists and the rebounds matter.
All right. Well, big thanks to you, Clinton Yates, for joining me. I think Perk is going to still be here when I get back, so that's going to be frustrating. But
we old as hell, Steve. You know that in basketball.
does Lake collective wisdom outweigh any age concern for you?
Absolutely. And look, Melo was speaking that new language called facts. And I get it, right? You have half of the Lakers roster that's almost eligible for the NBA pension. You have some of them almost eligible for Social Security. I get all that. But when you just take LeBron James and Rajon Rondo alone, it separates them from the rest of the league. We talking about two of the smartest guys to ever play the game of basketball. And then you add Melo, you add a champion in Trevor Ariza, who played alongside Kobe Bryant, who won a championship, Dwight Howard, who's a champion. That experience is going to get them through tough games in the 7-game series when they're not making shots. They can hang their hats on outsmarting teams, even throughout the 82-game season. So when people start talking about, oh, they senior citizens and they're old and all this, I don't want to hear that, because all those guys look phenomenal. They're still in great shape. And by the way, Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, they still make prime. And have anybody seen pictures of Anthony Davis lately? He looks phenomenal.
I love Melo talking like a true NBA graybeard. These young kids, they don't know what we got up here. But I'm with Perk. Look, the Lakers, there's always so much noise. They're too old. Are they going to be good enough defensively? How's Russ going to fit? Do they have enough shooting? Is Anthony Davis going to play center? Why did they sign 1 million centers if Anthony Davis, blah, blah, blah. Those are all relevant questions. They're all going to matter at some point. But really the only thing that matters, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy in the playoffs, they will problem solve all this noise away, and the Lakers will be just fine. We're going to scream and yell about the other stuff all season long. If those two guys, maybe the best player of all time and a top 10 player, a defensive player of the year candidate, all that, if they're healthy, the rest of it will work itself out, and the Lakers will be right there as the favorites or co-favorites at worst in the West.
Now, I have the Lakers second in the league behind the Brooklyn Nets. That's the one team I have that's better than them. Well, and Perk is already scrunching up his face like he just saw something poor. But my issue with the Lakers and their age is that you know that this is a long season. You're coming off two kind of condensed. You had a bubble season, then you had another season that was very, very unique. You're playing 72 games in a short amount of time. So my issue with that is that